Okay.
Hitting soon. I'll let you know when.
All right. Oh, Jinx caught up.
Yeah, we're live now.
All right. So sorry about that, guys. We're back, and we got right back in the action here.
Yeah, we're sorry about
Oh,
that. Four Words podcast was going on the main channel, so we had to switch it back up really fast.
yup.
That's going to be a bitch to edit, but I will make sure that's all compiled into one video.
Whoa, Scion, what was that ult? Um, now you're out in the middle of nowhere. Uh, Dead. You you got away with it this time, barely. Um, but you got to be careful. You can't go up 100% of the time when your ult's up because Malice can just ult you, and then he's got enough damage where he can trade back. He's got Morello's and oh, Vayne, that would have been good. You walked on a trap though. Gotta be careful there. Good attempt to all in though. Jinx has IE, so you have to be a little bit careful. Oh, and got the stun. Nice.
Tuco might be joining us here.
Oh, good. Because I might. We'll see. I might be around for game 3.
Yeah, these games are actually going fairly quick, so.
I don't know. Oh, we got an ult coming in on the Vayne. Hits her, but no kill. Okay, so we've got a 2k gold lead for red. They're up 2 turrets, so that can close out pretty evenly with once blue pushes up and takes some turrets. We haven't really talked about vision this game.
Wards.
Right now, blue's got a ward and a pink ward at the halfway point. They've got some wards in their side of the jungle, trying to prevent from the Shaco getting in there. But right now, I would like to see more vision come out from. As soon as I say that, Rek'Sai buys 2 wards, Janna gets a pink. So, trying to get that line up some, especially top side. Looks like Zed's gonna start splitting here, and there's gonna give up the first dragon of the game probably for that.
Alright, let's see.
So probably should not be fighting this. Dragon's gone. Guys, you can't check around that blind. Also, the team split here. Vlad TP's top instead of staying with his team.
There you go, crack salad.
Oh, fun fact for Shaco. You can see which one he is when he has a buff, and if he already had Silverbolt procs on him.
Yeah.
So that's how you know which Shaco is the real one. Unfortunately, it comes out to be a 1 for none, and they get Dragon. But it looks like Zed moved to mid lane, and they're going to try and pressure this turret some. JK, Zed's moving down. Through all this vision.
So I get this asked a lot if you prefer Sork shoes or CDR boots on Vlad. Me
Oh,
personally, I love CDR boots over Sorks.
I disagree. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. All right. Let's look at the items you buy. Woda's 10%.
Yes.
I run scaling blues 100% of the time on Vlad, which will give you 15% at 18. So that's 25 right there. You get 5% from your masteries, so that's 30. So there's really no reason to get something like the R boots. You can if you don't run the scaling CDs. The thing is, if you end up getting something like a Spirit Visage or whatnot, you're going to be overcapped.
Yep, I totally agree that you will get overcapped. However, your mid game and early game are your two worst parts about Vladimir. And it's better for you to get that early CDR as fast as possible and lose a little bit of efficiency later game while you're still a monster.
Oh, Jinx gets caught out here.
Yeah.
But with Sorks, if you're ahead, you just can destroy with your E. You do so much damage.
I think it just depends on the matchup overall as well. Because with Sorks, it gives you more burst overall, but with CDR boots, it gives you more damage over time in the early game.
But just from my experience, I will usually always get Sorks unless I'm behind a little bit, because just of the cost, like 150 or like 100 cheaper. But as a Vlad player myself, I prefer getting Sorks most of the time. I'm also one of the players that gets Death Cap before Zhonya's most of the time too, because it also, while Zhonya's gives you that nice golden glow, Death Cap also adds on your HP just from your AP and whatnot. It makes you a little bit tankier with getting a huge damage amplification. But that's just me. Let's see what we got coming out here. Early QSS from the Vayne. Oh, Rek'Sai. Okay, there you go. Vlad trying to get up in there. Do not go in on that, though. You're so low. Okay, so...
Alright.
No, they still haven't taken a turret yet, blue team. But they are getting some vision down around their jungle. Red team also has some deep wards here, and they have dragon control. After getting an early lead bot lane, Vayne's been caught out a couple times by the Shaco and just some poor positioning, so Jinx has reeled it back in. And now we see red team grouping up mid lane. There's no defense here. That is going to be a third turret down for blue side, or for red team.
Yeah, this is what red team wants to do, essentially, is to be grouping up and making sure that none of the assassins can be looking for picks on their team.
Oh, Vayne, that's a really poor path. You're dead. Don't flash. Oh, well, you're going to get out of it, I think. Good knock up by the Rek'Sai. Dead. Oh, it comes some Mal's ult. Or just death in general.
Oh, come on, Drakhammer.
Ooh, look at that. That good knock up by Sion. Unfortunately, the Shaco's going to end up getting the Vlad. Or the Zed. Jinx also taking some poor pathing. Really got to work on that, guys. Like, this is not an okay pathing for the AD carry. Either of them. And things like that can cost you games. Zed or Vayne, be careful.
Yeah, like, even if Amumu does get a bandage toss on Vayne, they don't have any good follow-up, really.
Oh, Vayne caught out again.
No,
This is the second time. No. She's off by herself. She's going to blade out, but she had the burn heal there. That's twice now she's been in a bad position. Oh. Jaco's actually caught out here. Ooh, nice zap by the Jinx.
It's like...
Vayne, don't walk up.
Stalker is like their only form of CC, really. Without that ult, they can't do anything.
Knock up. Not going to be able to get her, though. Alright, guys, there's a lot of going in when we're really low into 4 people. Or 3 people. Can't do that.
Like, I didn't realize until now the lack of CC that red team has.
Yep.
And it's really hurting their team fight, really.
Well, the thing is, they're just getting caught out in bad positions. Like, Vayne got caught twice around Wraiths. Then Rek'Sai went into 4 people by herself. Oh, good Zhonya's. Still dies.
Yeah.
But
like,
they really should pressure up and get this turret.
Yeah.
Like, don't back off of it. Just go take it. Go take it. And they're just going to back off. They're going to try and contest this dragon. But they have, as you can see, look at the wards that red team has littered across the map.
There's so
they
much.
They have full control. Everybody's chipping in. There's 2 pink. Even the AD carry got a pink here. That's going to be... There's 2 pinks down and... Tories. Vlad has Zhonya's now. He can't be killed by Zed. Zach has Zed or Zhonya's now. He can't be killed by Zed. This is the problem with a blind pick Zed, is all the other champions just kind of like, well, guess I'll just build Zhonya's, and I guess I'll just... Oh, good catch on the Jinx. She's gonna be dead here.
Oh, QSS.
Rek'Sai, yep.
Oh, never mind. All right.
JK, there's the Shaco. Where's the rest of the team?
Yeah, blue team needs to walk away. Their
Yeah,
main source of damage is gone.
yeah. Vayne, you got the first kill. Just back off after that. Now you might be able to disrupt it, but you have no damage here. This is also a problem with this team comp, is it's very damage light. Sonya's. Ooh, good knock up there. They're gonna pick up 2. And there's a full Shaco right there.
Should be able to pick up Crack Salad for a kill.
Missed the Hydra proc. And they're gonna get nobody else. Oh, maybe they'll get the mouse here. Nope. Red buff's low. Too strong. Alright. So if you're gonna fight that, you would want to fight that while Dragon's still going on. So they can take some peripheral damage from it. You went in after and just didn't get anything else. So you got, what was that one? They killed the Vlad and I think the Amumu.
Yeah, they did.
So, and then they lost 4. Oh, Vayne, you're out too far. That Shaco's gonna kill you. Almost.
Alright, so even though you got the kill on Vayne, that was still a poor execution on getting the kill. What you should have done was, when you were stealthed, put a box right behind her, and then you go and auto attack her for your combo.
Yeah. And Vayne, after you got out of that, there's no reason to go back in.
Oh.
Jinx, I don't think is enough there. Yep. You need another auto. 3-man ult by Amumu. Rocket comes in, gonna pick up the Rek'Sai. Zed gets 1. He's gonna die to the Vlad. Maybe. Hex Drinker pop. Nope, he's okay. Now we see, I think what's gonna be a Rylai's come in for Vlad.
Which I'm a big fan of. I love it.
I would actually like to see Void soon from both of the APs. We should see some armor or some MR stacking coming in.
Yeah.
Diana, instead of finishing Talisman there, it would have been better to get a Locket, especially against this team. So you could have gone something like Sightstone, Nomads into Locket. Because it doesn't look like Rek'Sai is going to be able to build it this game.
Like, honestly, even Banner, ever since Locket got nerfed, Banner is a pretty good choice here.
Oh, Banner's, yeah, I forget Locket build, or Aegis build from the Banner now.
Yep.
Either one, really. Just a Aegis item.
One of the few times where Banner is actually on par with Locket now.
Oh.
Suck
Trying
it,
to clear
Host
some of this
Doctor.
vision. Got it. This Vlad's out in no man's land. But if they chase this super far, they're gonna give up mid-turret pressure. But instead of chasing this, Red should just have 4-man that mid-turret. Oh, Amumu. Nope, not gonna get in there. Meanwhile, Zed picks up Shaco. But Vayne dies as well. Good flash by the Jinx.
Oh, that
Oh
should be
boy.
a dead Janna.
That's gonna be a lot of dead people, actually.
Yeah.
That's gonna be turret, probably an inhib. Alright, so blue team's just getting caught out a lot. We saw the Vayne get picked there.
This is really a high death game. Like, there hasn't been much time to breathe for these guys.
It's... A lot of it was lane matchups here. I mean, look, you still see the Zed up like 70 CS on this Malzahar, but like Vlad he's got the Flame Horizon at this point, up over 100 on his lane opponent.
Oh.
And Vayne's up here, but blue team got off to an okay start. What ended, like, Zed outplayed Malzahar and then picked up a kill on Shaco as well solo. But once they all started hitting 6, we can see the power of this red team lineup with their more synergistic team comp. Because the other thing is, like, if Cyan can go in with his ult, but blue also doesn't really have a good way to go in. Like, at least a Mumu initiate is an initiate. Here, blue team can't really just, like, we're going to go in now, because they can just walk around Cyan ult. And Cyan's not tanky enough where he can just go in 1v5 yet.
No, like, the whole blue team comp is they need to protect the Vayne, essentially. Because
like,
they can't get to the backline playing as that.
Nope. Low damage team comp.
Yep.
Especially when two of them are armor or AD champions. Ooh, bad flash.
And if your job is to be the meat shield for Vayne.
Meanwhile, Vayne is... They need the peel for her.
Yeah.
Yep, Malzahar too late. Jinx, yep, is just going to clean this one up. QSS the ult right at the end there. And this Amumu is just kind of slowly killing the Zed.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cyan picks it up. Q from the Amumu. Got him. Alright. Meanwhile, Vlad's top lane. That was a 4v5 essentially, or 5v4 for blue team, and they lost pretty bad.
This game wasn't even for a little while until that chaotic team fighting was going on. Like, blue team just haven't been doing a good job of protecting the Vayne, and Vayne hasn't been using positioning right.
Yeah, she's been positioning very poorly.
Yeah.
Oh, good flash. Actually, a pretty far flash. They're gonna pick up a dragon here. It's gonna be, once again, like last game, it's gonna be really hard for blue team to reel this one back. You would like to see them start warding around their jungle and just farm out these lanes. There's not much else you can really do. You're probably gonna have to give up that bot inner or bot second tier as well.
Oh.
It's really hard to protect that. USS. Jaco with the guard and the angel. Vlad picks up Rylai's, so there's his way to stay in the fight. Now he's gonna get Void, hopefully. Jinx looking at maybe, I'm assuming that's gonna be a Last Whisper.
Probably,
and
yeah.
Randuin's coming in from a Mumu. It's like Vayne doesn't like, this is a game Vayne desperately needs Last Whisper because they're just gonna stack armor against her. Good stun. Vayne has in W. Yep, so Vayne gonna live surprisingly there. Good Janna ult and QSS timing to get out of the Amumu bandage. Meanwhile, top lane or bot lane, Zed gets the kill on Malzahar.
If blue team can hold this off, they could take inhib for inhib.
It's gonna be really hard. They have Baron. Somebody can back.
I mean, they have to try go for it regardless.
Yeah, like here goes Shaco. Vayne, you just like walk. Yep.
Yeah.
You walked up into range for not only Jinx to get an auto, but Amumu to Q you. You gotta realize what's in front of you before you do something like that. Rek'Sai going in 1v3. Probably gonna have to get this one up. Jaco kills the Zed. They get the inhib.
Yeah, but if you see someone backing, or if you don't see all 5 mid lane, ping for Zed to go back or be really careful.
Right.
Because that was a free kill for Shaco.
Honestly, they should just be on the turret here. Just end the game. Look at death timers. At least get a turret here. Auto the turrets, guy. You could have at least gotten 1 turret, maybe 2. And while it's very unlikely that blue team could turn this around, it's still a possibility. You want to close games out like this because Vayne picks up 2 here because he decided to back instead of ending the game.
Ow.
Yup. But Shaco's really good.
Shaco.
With GA up still.
no Penta.
Yep, and Shaco's no, yeah. Shaco's just gonna end it. Close game. And this should be the closeout here.
Yeah, really even up until probably the 25-minute mark. Then it just started snowballing.
I think you started seeing that around 15 or so. Shaco, just end the game. Like, there's no reason to farm here. Like, that is kind of the end. Just end the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to back here. 100% no reason to back here. Like, that's just kind of poor sportsmanship. So, that's really not a fan of that.
Yeah, but it's something that we can't handle. But we'll take care of it after game.
Yep. Okay.
But anyhow, was there any part in the game where blue team could have had a chance?
They had an early lead. Vayne had an early kill. Zed had 2 early kills. It's just playing the map better, and warding out, being aware of where that Shaco was. Shaco started turning that around. Vlad just kind of moved around and took his lead around the map once he got that top turret down. I mean, there's a lot that could have happened. A lot of it was poor Vayne positioning, getting picked. A lot of the blue team got picked in some poor times. But let's take a look at the detail.
Changing my overlay. Go to view advanced games. All right.
So that's go to statistics.
First thing is first is, of course, the wards.
Ooh, look at the Janna. 15 visions purchased there. I don't know if that was inflated at the end. I don't think so. I actually think she bought a ton of vision wards. Vlad actually bought a bunch of pinks too. Once again, jungler, no wards purchased. And Scion, no wards purchased. That, if you want to go up higher in this game, you have to change those habits. You have to buy pinks. You have to buy greens. You can't just get away with the, oh, I'm going to trinket for the first couple minutes and just not care about wards. So, yeah, those habits have to change.
Good job on Vlad and Zed both buying 20 wards.
Well, they didn't buy 20 wards. They, like, Zed placed 20. He had, I think he had upgraded trinket there.
But even still, like,
yeah,
that's a lot of information that you gathered from those wards.
Yep. Same with Mal's. Good job getting a bunch of pinks.
Yep.
But we can go on the builds.
Yep.
Not going to talk too much about Vayne's build. It's pretty standard. You got a second item QSS. I think that was just a little bit early. Didn't have enough damage to back that up, and you got a lead. Let's see. If I can look at that. Where was that? You got... Yeah, you got 2 kills bot lane around the 8-minute mark. That's the point where you want to... You get Blade, and then you get your Shiv, then you can get QSS. The thing about getting a QSS before your second, like, damaging item is not... You just don't have enough damage at those levels to keep up with the ever 80 carry. Like, if you get really far ahead, like, third item QSS is great. Because you'll be even with the ever 80 carry and items, but you're up a QSS. So, not a huge fan of that. Where did I lost match history? There it is. Your positioning was off a lot of times. You're taking some weird pathings, not the safest pathings, and you're getting caught out. So just keep an eye on that, work on that a little bit. Switch your trinket over to blue. There's no reason for you to have a warding trinket. You're an 80 carry. You can't really face check bushes. Do you have anything for the Vayne?
Yeah, you and Janna did really well early game. and you had the potential to carry that game by your guys' self. Something that I don't know if you guys did or not, try to communicate with your support Janna and see if you guys want to keep on split pushing bottom. Just because how far ahead you guys were, you could have had the chance to 2v3 if you played it right. And with that, and with enough wards, you could have easily split pushed and won the game from there. But it's just one of those like rotations and things that you need to be wary of. So, but overall, I think early game did well. Then position wise, you just need to improve your game. As far as Janna goes, anything that I see for her?
Janna, I already said probably instead of moving in the finished talisman, go into something like this item. You got Mikhail's here, which is going to be necessary, but definitely your team didn't have an Aegis item, and it was showing because between the two AP carries, they were doing a ton of magic damage.
The storm.
Outside of that, yeah, sorry, I stopped there for a minute.
Bought so many pinks. That's a really good job on her part. Oh, I think one of the things I don't see a lot of supports do, even though you're far ahead, is roaming for other lanes. I think Vayne would have been fine by herself in some points. And if you guys are pushed up, roam mid and help out Zed get a kill on Malzahar. Or if you're even feeling ballsy enough, go up top lane and maybe assist. No, don't go top, actually. That was just a lost lane for Sion, really. But yeah, just do a little more roaming if you're winning lane. And with that those are ways that supports can win games. It's just not staying in their lane and pressuring other sides of the map as well.
Anyway, we can move on to Zed. Zed, you got a couple early kills solo. You got that one on Malz, you got that one on Shaco, and you were starting to snowball, and then you started picking some really weird all-ins, or just not having vision to back up your all-ins. The thing with Mal's matchup is both of you, your ults are up roughly the same time. So if you go in, you should try to bait out his ult before going in. Like, either like shadow in you and try and auto him to force him to ult and then get back out. Or like after it ends, then you can ult him. Because if you just go in and he ults you, well, he's most likely going to win that trade, especially the way he was building. He got an early Zhonya's and things like that. Just keep that in mind and pick your all-ins. Build past fine. You got QSS to break out of that later, but early on it was a little bit hard. Should have pressured split pushing a little bit more, but your team... The problem with that is your team was behind, so if you went the split push, they could easily lose a 5v4. It's a really tough situation to be in, so just try and abuse your snowball advantage. Maybe don't keep trying to all-in your mid laner, but with those 2 kills, roam to a different part of the lane. Go to bot lane, pick up a double down there against a Jinx and Mumu, or go top against Vlads, things like that. Just there's other ways you can abuse your snowball. Sion.
Yeah, that was a rough lane for you, not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. What I'd like to see is either like a Q-Max or an E-Max instead, and just try and last hit with those. Work on farming under tower. You were struggling a lot with it, and that what led to a big CS lead early on for Vlad. And you built correctly. I don't know if you like Banshees or Spirit Visage there.
I prefer Spirit Visage because it also helps with your passive as well.
Yeah, so... W passive? You mean... What passive?
Sion's passive.
Like, regular passive? Or like...
Regular passive and his W as well.
Yeah. He gets HP back per hit, that's right. Sorry, I was like, he's not a Garen, what are you talking about? Yeah, no, that I would agree. And plus the CD, the cooldown reduction helps a lot there. So maybe go that. But you were doing what you could. It looks like you're building Black Cleaver at the end there. Maybe. Probably don't stay away from that. Probably instead get your other MR item, whether that's a Spirit Visage or Banshees, depending on which one you didn't get the first time. And make sure you buy those wards. You didn't have any wards purchased this game. You didn't upgrade your trinket, so you're actually lacking vision up top. Rek'Sai, you were doing okay. You put some pressure on that Tithe top lane at level 4. You're not tanky enough to do that. So, especially against Vlad, who can stall out that for a long time with some like pools or some just cube healing. So after you burned his flash, you should have just backed off and then come back right for another gank once he came back to lane. You just it's really hard because you're trying to make plays around the map, but your team was behind, you were behind, and you were just kind of getting picked off because you weren't tanky enough to survive through Rek'Sai and Jinx and Vlad and all these other champions that had these gold leads. So upgrade your sweeper, get more wards down. You're doing okay, but you still could have got more. Don't dive unnecessarily. There's no reason to. If you burn a summoner, just come back to that lane and gank again when they don't have that summoner, so it can be an easier kill. Yeah. Pathing was okay. You're behind in levels because Shaco is power farming. That's just going to happen in that matchup, so you have to make pressure either by matching his power farm or just making more pressure on the map. You have anything else to add on to that, Phil?
Nope, I trust your judgment on all that.
Okay. Jinx, I'm trying to think, but you just kind of cleaned up some fights and got some resets and killed a bunch of people. You also got a QSS. You got a third item, which is what I would have liked to seen from the Vayne. Your CS could use some work. Vayne ended up somewhat staying in the game just because of her CS numbers. You did come back after a rough lane, partially to the Amumu, getting some nice Qs, some nice ult, and you were able to clean up fights.
Yeah, remember early game that you have to remember, just look at like power specs essentially as your team overall. You and Amumu early game just aren't going to win versus a Janna. So just make sure you tell Amumu that, hey, we should play safe. Maybe if you want to really prioritize, go roam somewhere else. Well, I will say here in CS, just tell your Amumu to play a lot safer as well, and make sure you communicate as a team as a whole. I'm not sure, I didn't see chat, so I don't know what you guys were saying to each other, but it just seemed like what Amumu wanted to do and what you want to do were two different things, really.
Yep. Oh, Shaco, you did Shaco things. You actually got outplayed by the Zed mid lane. Be cautious of that. Zed can, especially when you're at like 30%, can burst you down pretty quickly. Don't end like that at the end. Just end the game. There's no reason to draw that out any farther than it needs to be. That also goes for a little bit earlier when that wasn't much BM. It was just playing too cautious. Jinx could have knocked down a tower and then got out. And then you ended up backing in a poor spot. Vayne picks up 2 kills, and then all of a sudden the game's kind of iffy again. Just if the towers are down, just end the game with like 30-second death timers. I really don't have much more to add to that. Hydra's like the build's fine. You upgraded your sweeper. You didn't buy any wards. Buy more wards. Help your team out that way. That's all I have for that. Moo. I somewhat bashed the pick and champ select, but you know, you made up for it. You played it well. You got some nice
CC, so Moo filled that spot.
Yep. Early on, you got caught out, and that led to a double kill early bot lane. Just be cautious of that. Otherwise, you were going in at some good times. You were getting some nice Qs. You locked down Vayne a couple times when she was out of position. You had some nice 3-4-man ults. Keep that up. Build's fine. I don't know if I would have gone Deadman's. I probably would have got Randuin's instead. But that's fine too. You upgraded your sweeper. You got a couple pinks early, but it seems like you forgot about them as the game went on. Or they didn't get cleared and you didn't think you needed another. Guys, even if your pink's still up, you can get another and just relocate it. Especially when you're moving for objectives like Baron and Dragon, it's probably a better idea to do that if your pink's like in a bush that's not really doing anything. So just be cognizant of that.
I do, for item-wise, I don't really like Deadman's Plate. It's really a selfish item. I would rather see Righteous Glory. Not, I think it's called.
Yeah, Righteous Glory.
Yeah. I was thinking another item. Anyways, yeah, will really help your guys' team fight and pick potential since you were the only one that really could go all in. And since you are the main initiator, you can't be if you see a pick, go for it right away. You just have to can't be hesitant on that sort of thing. So just realize if you see someone out of position, just go right away. The sooner you react to a situation, the better it'll be for your team.
Yep. Vlad, nice job. You kept up with your pinks. You bullied a lane you should have bullied anyway. That's... Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. You could have worked on your CS a little bit. You were missing some free ones sometimes because you were focusing on harass. CS first, harassed in between. Kept your E stacks up. I liked that. Build pass fine. Rylai's kept you in team fights. Minion lead for the game. That's just because you're Vlad at some point. You just hit E and the wave's gone. But you stayed with it. You upgraded your trinket. You kept your vision up. Other than that, yeah, not too much else to add to that. You were team fighting pretty well.
Even though Santana disagrees, I would like to just try to experiment with CDR boots regardless and see how you feel about it. In this matchup, it's perfectly fine just because this is a pretty easy one for you. But for harder ones like Aurelia, other ones like Renekton as well, just try it out. I think it might actually be more beneficial.
Aurelia, hard matchup. What are you talking about?
Yeah, totally
Aurelia
hard.
Scrub.
Anyways.
Malzahar, you got soloed early. You didn't really respect the Zed Shadow and just got killed. After that, you were playing it really well. You blocked him down when you went in. You're actually getting a fair number of kills. You got an early Zhonya's. You bounced back pretty well for the most part, I'd say. You team fighted pretty well. You were silencing the people you needed to silence. You were getting picks on Vayne when she was out of position and locking her down. So after a rough early laning phase, you turned it around. So just work on that. If you don't give up those early kills to Zed, he won't snowball. I mean, he won't be able to do much of anything later in the game if he doesn't get rolling early. So just be cautious of that. Otherwise, not too bad. Bill, anything else to add on top of that?
No, I didn't really see if you had 40% CER. Yeah, you do actually have cooldown blues. That's really good. So, yeah, you maximize your CDR. You probably don't take a knight. I would rather see teleport or probably exhaust versus a Zed.
Yep.
But apart from that, not really many complaints really. Maybe just like watch your positioning and don't try to push up too much versus a Shaco.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not versus a Rek'Sai.
Yeah, Rek'Sai, wrong jungler. It's been a long day for both of us, so thank you for bearing with us. Oh dear. All right.
Yeah, we are gonna start getting people in the game right now. Remember, first, if this is your first time playing today, you will get first priority. But if there are still spots open, we first come, first serve. So stay tuned, and we will close the stream really quick, and hopefully we'll be back online really fast.